This video is about 7 habits that make you very attractive and irresistible to women. And just to be clear, we're not talking about being born with perfect genetics or looking like a celebrity. We're talking about habits, things you can learn, build, and practice. Because attraction is not just about looks. It's about how you carry yourself, how you behave, and the kind of energy you bring into a woman's life. Many men think women only want money, muscles, or a certain physical look. But here's what most guys never realize. Women are wired to respond to behavior. A man's habits create his presence, how safe he feels, how confident he appears, how interesting he becomes, and how respected he is. That's what actually separates attractive men from every other guy in the room. In fact, if you pay attention closely, you'll notice something. The men women chase aren't always the tallest, richest, or most handsome. They're the ones who move differently. They're intentional. They're disciplined. They give off the feeling that their life has direction and purpose. Women can sense this faster than you think. And that's why this video matters. If you want to become a man women are naturally drawn to, you don't need to change your face, your height, or your social status. What you need is to develop the habits that powerful, confident, and magnetic men live by every day. Habits that make a woman feel like she just found a rare man, not a common one. So in this video, we'll break down 7 simple habits you can start practicing right now. These habits will improve how women see you, how they respond to you, and how they treat you. By the end, you'll understand exactly what makes a man truly attractive in ways most guys overlook. Let's get into it. 1. Confidence in your actions and decisions. One of the strongest habits that makes a man irresistible to women is confidence. Not arrogance, not loud bragging, not acting like you're better than everyone else. Real confidence. The kind that shows in the way you move, speak, and make decisions. Women are naturally drawn to men who seem sure of themselves because confidence communicates stability, security, and leadership. Think about it. When you walk into a room with uncertainty, it shows in your body language. You look tense, you hesitate, you second-guess yourself. People feel it, and women feel it even faster. But when you walk in calm, collected, and comfortable in your own skin, you immediately stand out. Women notice the way you carry yourself long before you even say a word. Real confidence comes from 2 things: trusting yourself and not being afraid to make decisions. A confident man doesn't wait for permission or approval. He doesn't freeze up because he's worried about making the wrong move. Instead, he trusts his judgment. Even if he makes a mistake, he handles it. That mindset alone separates confident men from the rest. Women love men who lead. You don't have to control anyone, but you should be able to take initiative. If you're out on a date and she asks, "Where should we go?" a man with confidence doesn't say, "I don't know, whatever you want." That answer sounds weak. A confident man has an opinion. He can say, "There's a great place nearby, let's go there." That simple statement signals certainty and direction. Another part of confidence is how you react to challenges. Life will always test you. Work issues, money problems, disagreements, setbacks. Some men panic and fall apart. Others stay calm and find solutions. Women are attracted to men who don't lose control over every little thing. Calmness is a sign of strength. When you stay collected under pressure, you make women feel safe around you. Most men think confidence is something you're born with, but it's a habit. You build it by trusting yourself, making decisions, learning from mistakes, and improving your skills. Confidence grows when you stop comparing yourself to other men and start focusing on your own progress. And women can tell when confidence is real, not forced. In the end, confidence is about being comfortable with who you are and where you're going. When a man has that energy, he becomes magnetic. Women don't just notice it, they feel it. 2. Taking care of your appearance and hygiene. A lot of men think attraction is only about personality or confidence, but the truth is simple. Women notice how you look, smell, and present yourself. You don't need to be the best-looking man in the room to be attractive. You just need to show that you take care of yourself. When a man puts effort into his appearance, it sends a strong message. It shows self-respect, Discipline and maturity. Think about it from a woman's perspective. If a man has messy hair, long, dirty nails, bad breath, unwashed clothes, or a sloppy appearance, what impression does that create? It instantly tells her he doesn't care about himself. So why would he care about her? Women pay attention to the details. Clean shoes, trimmed beard, fresh haircut, ironed clothes. These small things change the way people respond to you. Taking care of your hygiene isn't about trying to impress everyone. It's about feeling fresh and confident in your own body. When you shower daily, use deodorant, brush and floss your teeth, and keep your breath clean, you feel better. Your energy changes. You move differently. You speak with more confidence because you're not worried about how you smell or look. The same goes for staying in shape. You don't need a six-pack or huge muscles, but staying physically active makes a big difference. Women find it attractive when a man looks healthy, strong, and disciplined. Going to the gym, running, doing sports, even walking regularly, these habits affect your body language, posture, and overall energy. When your health improves, your confidence grows with it. Another part of appearance is dressing well. You don't need designer brands or expensive clothes. What matters is clean, fitted clothing that matches your style, clothes that look like they were chosen with purpose, not just thrown on. Even a simple t-shirt and jeans can look great when they're clean and fit properly. Women notice effort. They notice when a man looks well put together. Grooming matters too. Keep your facial hair neat, trim your nails, manage your eyebrows, and use a simple skincare routine to keep your face clean. These small habits separate men who are okay from men who look desirable. Most women are attracted to men who look sharp, clean, and well-groomed because it shows discipline and maturity. When a man takes care of his appearance, he becomes someone women feel proud to be seen with. And the best part is, you don't have to be naturally handsome. You just have to show effort. Women love men who value themselves. When you look like you respect your body, your hygiene, and your presentation, women respect you more too. 3. Emotional control and calmness under pressure. One of the most underrated habits that makes a man irresistible to women is emotional control. Many men don't realize how powerful this is. Anyone can be confident when life is easy, but a man who stays calm when things go wrong stands out. Women pay close attention to how a man reacts when he's under stress. If you panic, get angry easily, or break down over small problems, you come across as unstable. But when you handle problems with patience and clarity, you show strength, and that is extremely attractive. Women don't expect men to be emotionless. In fact, having emotions is normal and healthy, but what matters is how you manage them. A man who can stay composed during arguments, unexpected challenges, or stressful moments makes a woman feel safe. It shows her that he won't lose control, shout, or act impulsively. Instead, he thinks before he reacts. He solves problems. He protects his peace. Emotional control is also about not letting other people's words or actions shake you. Some men get triggered by every little thing. Someone insulted them, someone disagreed, someone didn't respond fast enough. When a man constantly needs attention, validation, or reassurance, it becomes exhausting. Women can see when a man is insecure because his emotions control him. On the other hand, a man with emotional strength doesn't chase approval. He stands firm in who he is. Life will always throw challenges your way. Money problems, work stress, misunderstandings, pressure from family, relationship disagreements. These things are part of being human. Women are attracted to men who don't fall apart when life gets difficult. When a man keeps a calm presence, he becomes someone others rely on. His energy feels stable, not chaotic. Another part of emotional control is patience. Some men rush everything, relationships, decisions, conversations. But a man who moves with patience gives off maturity and confidence. He doesn't need to force anything. He knows his value, so he can take his time. That patience alone makes women feel more comfortable and secure around him. A man with this habit also communicates better. Instead of yelling, shutting down, or letting anger take over, he talks clearly and respectfully. He listens. He thinks. He doesn't react based on emotion. He responds based on logic and self-respect. That kind of behavior makes a woman trust him. She feels she can open up, talk about anything, and not be judged or attacked. In the long run, emotional control isn't just attractive, it's a life skill. Men who master it do better in relationships, careers, leadership, and personal growth. When you stay calm, you think clearly. When you think clearly, you make better choices. And when women see that, they see a man who is strong, mature, and in control of his world. 4. Purpose, ambition, and drive. A man who lives with purpose instantly becomes more attractive. Women are naturally drawn to men who have direction, goals, and something they're working toward. It doesn't matter if you're building a business, improving your career, going to school, getting in shape, or learning a new skill. What matters is that you have ambition. A man with purpose looks like he's going somewhere in life, and that makes him stand out. Women don't want a man whose entire life is just scrolling on his phone, playing games all day, sleeping, complaining, or waiting for luck to come. They want a man who wakes up with intention, a man who is building something. When a woman sees that you have goals and you're actively working on them, it communicates maturity and stability. She sees potential in you. She sees a future. Purpose also affects the way you carry yourself. When you know where you're going in life, you walk differently, talk differently, and make decisions with confidence. You don't feel threatened by other men. You don't need approval. You don't chase women because your attention is on your mission. That alone makes you more attractive because it shows that your world doesn't revolve around anyone's acceptance. Ambition is also about how you react to challenges. Every journey has setbacks, rejections, failures, slow progress, mistakes, and disappointments. What separates attractive men from average men is how they respond to these moments. When something goes wrong, a man with purpose doesn't quit or fall apart. He adapts, he learns, he keeps moving. Women admire resilience. They respect a man who doesn't fold when life becomes difficult. Reacting well also means staying focused even when distractions appear. Some men lose direction the moment a woman gives them attention. Their goals disappear, their discipline fades, and suddenly their entire life becomes the relationship. That is the fastest way to become less attractive. Women love to feel important, but they don't want to feel like they replaced your dreams. A man becomes more desirable when he can love a woman without abandoning himself. Another part of reacting well is control over your priorities. For example, if you're working towards something important and a setback happens, a man with purpose doesn't start blaming everyone or feeling sorry for himself. He takes responsibility and keeps going. That calm, disciplined reaction shows strength. It shows leadership. It shows he is mentally prepared for life. Purpose gives a man identity. When you have something meaningful to focus on, your career, fitness, personal growth, creativity, business, you automatically become a more interesting person. You have stories, plans, knowledge, confidence, and vision. Women love a man who is building his life. They love seeing that he won't be in the same place years from now. In the end, purpose makes you magnetic because it shapes your mindset, your habits, and your reactions. A man with ambition becomes someone women don't just find attractive. He becomes someone they respect. 5. Good social energy and positive communication. One habit that instantly makes a man more attractive is having good social energy. This doesn't mean you need to be the loudest person in the room or the center of attention. It simply means you create a positive atmosphere wherever you go. Women pay close attention to how a man interacts with people. If you are respectful, friendly, confident, and good at communicating, you naturally become more appealing. Good social energy starts with the way you treat others. A man who speaks politely to waiters, cashiers, strangers, or anyone in public sends a strong message about his character. A woman sees how you behave when you don't need anything from someone. If you are kind, patient, and respectful, it shows maturity. If you are rude, arrogant, or easily irritated, it tells her exactly who you are, and it's never attractive. Men should also learn how to communicate clearly. When you talk, speak with intention. Look people in the eyes, not at the ground or your phone. Women notice body language faster than you think. When you speak confidently, stand tall, and show interest in conversations, people feel your presence. You don't have to impress anyone, just be present. Another important part of social energy is listening. Many men talk too much, brag, or try too hard to sound interesting, but the most attractive men know how to listen without interrupting, judging, or trying to prove something. When a woman talks and you actually pay attention, you show emotional maturity. You make her feel safe to open up. That alone builds attraction. Men should avoid complaining and negative energy. Nobody wants to be around someone who constantly talks about what's wrong with the world, their life, or other people. A man who brings positivity into a conversation feels refreshing to be around. He has solutions, confidence, and a hopeful mindset. Women feel good in his presence because he makes life lighter, not heavier. Acting calm and composed in social situations also matters. If someone tries to provoke you or embarrass you, a mature man doesn't start drama. He laughs it off, stays relaxed, or ignores it. That reaction alone shows emotional strength. A man who can control himself in public earns respect without raising his voice. Finally, women love being around a man who knows how to make people feel comfortable. You don't have to be a comedian, but a light sense of humor, a warm smile, and relaxed body language can make a huge difference. When people enjoy being around you, women automatically become more attracted because social value matters. In the end, good social energy isn't about trying to impress anyone. It's about acting confident, respectful, positive, and comfortable with yourself. When you communicate well and treat people with dignity, you stand out without trying. 6. Setting boundaries and respecting yourself. One of the strongest habits that makes a man truly attractive is knowing how to set boundaries. Most men don't realize how powerful this is. Boundaries are about self-respect. They show a woman that you value your time, your emotions, and your life. When a man has no boundaries, he becomes predictable, desperate, and easy to manipulate. But when he stands firm on what he accepts and what he won't tolerate, he becomes a man women respect. Women find this attractive because it shows strength. A man who respects himself does not let anyone walk all over him. He doesn't let people talk to him any kind of way, guilt trip him, control him, or use him. He can be kind and loving while still protecting his peace. That balance is rare. Many men think being nice means saying yes to everything, but real respect comes from having the courage to say no when necessary. Setting boundaries also means not losing yourself in a relationship. Some men drop their friends, stop working on their goals, and give up their interests just to keep a woman happy. At first, it looks sweet, but eventually it becomes unattractive. Women want a partner, not a servant. They want a man with his own life, his own identity, and his own backbone. A man with boundaries doesn't chase love at the cost of his dignity. If a woman disrespects him, cheats, plays games, or tries to control him, he doesn't beg for her to stay. He walks away. That reaction alone is incredibly attractive because it shows emotional strength. Women trust a man who won't allow himself to be disrespected. Even in everyday situations, boundaries matter. If a man is always available, always waiting, always trying to please everyone, he looks weak. But when he values his time, focuses on his responsibilities, and doesn't drop everything just because someone demands attention, he looks disciplined. Women admire that. They love a man who can care about them deeply without sacrificing his identity. Another reason women find boundaries attractive is because it makes them feel secure. When a man stands up for himself, he shows he can also stand up for her. If you can protect your emotions, you can protect the relationship. Women don't truly want a man they can control. They want a man they can respect. A boundary-setting man isn't aggressive or rude. He's calm, clear, and confident. He doesn't argue, threaten, or prove anything. He simply chooses peace over drama and self-respect over attention. That level of strength is rare in modern relationships. In the end, boundaries make you more attractive because they show you value yourself. And when you value yourself, others value you too, especially women. 7. Consistency, being a reliable, dependable man. The final habit that makes a man truly irresistible is consistency. A lot of men make a great first impression, then slowly fall apart. They start out confident, disciplined, respectful, then over time they get lazy, lose focus, or stop putting in effort. Women pay close attention to this. A man who cannot stay consistent is unpredictable, and unpredictability destroys attraction. But a man who is reliable, someone she can trust, someone whose words match his actions, immediately becomes more valuable in her eyes. Consistency is confidence in motion. It shows you are not pretending, you are not performing, you are not trying to impress anyone for a moment. You are living your truth every day. When you say you'll do something and you actually follow through, it sends a strong message about your character. Women find this extremely attractive because it shows maturity and strength. Anyone can talk, but not everyone can deliver. A consistent man doesn't switch personalities depending on who he's around. He doesn't treat a woman well only when he wants something. He doesn't chase her today and ignore her tomorrow. He doesn't start with effort and then suddenly disappear. Instead, he stands firm. His energy stays the same. Whether he's dating, working, or building his life, he shows up as a steady, dependable man. Women feel secure around a consistent man. They don't have to guess how he feels or what he's thinking. They don't worry that he will change overnight or disappear the moment things get difficult. Reliability creates emotional safety, and emotional safety leads to real attraction. This habit also applies to goals. A man who consistently works on himself becomes more attractive every month. He doesn't train at the gym once and quit. He doesn't read one book and stop learning. He doesn't start a business or project and abandon it at the first sign of struggle. He keeps going. He evolves. And women feel drawn to that kind of discipline because it shows he has direction and self-control. Being consistent also separates men who just talk from men who lead. Anyone can say, "I'll change, I'll do better, I'll fix it." But if there's no action behind those words, it means nothing. The man who quietly works, improves, and keeps his word gains respect without asking for it. A dependable man isn't perfect, but he is steady. If he makes a mistake, he owns it. If he gives his word, he honors it. If he wants something, he works for it. That confidence, that stability, that discipline, women notice it immediately. In the end, consistency is powerful because it proves you are serious about the life you're building. And a man who's serious about his life becomes someone others trust, respect, and admire. That is why women find consistency irresistible. It shows strength, maturity, and real value. When it comes to being attractive to women, it's not about being perfect or born with special advantages. It's about the habits you practice every day. Confidence, hygiene, emotional control, ambition, social presence, boundaries, and consistency are qualities that any man can build. These habits make you stand out because they show maturity, self-respect, and strength. Women don't want a man who just looks good. They want a man who lives with purpose and discipline. When you develop these habits, you don't just become attractive to women, you become proud of the man you're becoming, and that's real power.